Next to a story of two Melbourne men who have set aside generational hatred to forge a very special friendship. The traditional enemies are now taking their pathway to peace back to their native home of South Sudan, where they've been invited to play key roles in that nation's quest to develop national reconciliation and a lasting peace. Peter Kaka and Nyok Gor are traditional enemies. They're from rival Sudanese tribes locked in generational violence. Nyok Gor is a member of the dominant Dinka Boer tribe.
Since 2011, after the independence of South Sudan, the level of violence has increased among tribal groups. In 2012, I received the news of my cousin who was killed in a tribal conflict.
Nyok Gor's cousin was killed by members of the Mulay tribe. Peter Kaka is Mulay.
I got two of my uncles being killed. One is following my dad, another one following the other one. All two of them gone.
And these are relatives killed at the hands of Dinka Boer?
Yes, they are.
Revenge killings have fuelled Sudanese fighting for half a century. Imagine Peter Kaka's surprise when he received a phone call from Nyok Gor trying to broker peace.
The first when he gave me a call, I heard him. And at the same time, I wanted also to listen what he said. And I was thinking like, well, always we keep blame each other. His community blame our community. We blame their community. So this blaming is continuous, to motivate people, down there to continue fighting.
For 6 months, Nyok Gor and Peter Kaka tried listening instead of fighting.
So then that becomes us versus them, which leads back to violence, harm against the self or others. So you can see the cycle just continuing.
Sometimes the conversation was terse and tense, but they persisted. Both men were determined to break the cycle of violence.
It's been very difficult to really see from his perspective how he feels, and that's where I really took an humble position and just listened to him. He felt that somebody was really able to listen to him, and that's how he found that, if there are more other people within Dinka Boer like Nyok, leaders that can be able to listen to people like us, I think we can be able to find some understanding.
I think Nyok now is become my real friend and my real brother.
At this particular time, people are divided. Leadership is not really in a collaborative position, and that is a big struggle for the nation like South Sudan to really embark on development. It needs reconciliation, and it's one way that people can be able to find peace and security in South Sudan.
Nyok Gor was a child soldier who became a refugee, one of the so-called Lost Boys. Reverend Tim Costello is trying to rally financial support for his odyssey.
Now, some 26 years later, with a beautiful Australian wife, he's going back, and he's going back to be a force for healing and for reconciliation.
I know that so many people, whenever they pick up the phone with a call from South Sudan, they don't know if that's going to be good news or bad news, and that the death of a family member is a common thing that we hear about. And for people to be going through that time and time again, even when they've found safety and refuge in Australia, leaves South Sudanese very connected with their country.
In April, traditional enemies Nyok Gor and Peter Kaka will be in South Sudan together, sharing the lessons of their own peace process and leading by example.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very
It's a
much.
good relationship.
Yeah, it is.
Thank
It
you.
is, yeah.
I hope
We
we can be able to have this relationship and let our people also be
Have
able to
it,
hold
yeah.
hand together. This is the future that I see in South Sudan that had happened between the two of us.